Hey everybody, what's going on? Rob Cesternino back here for the Patreon Q&A. Happy Friday, everybody. Here we are, ready to kick off another weekend of Big Brother, week number 10 here. Very excited to have back with us the man who has been keeping this thing going for 65 days now, Taran.
65 days. Today's day 66.
Yep, only big week, only 4 days till day 69. Here he is, it's Taran Armstrong.
Yes. What a double eviction. What a week we have here. The gameplay has been so interesting this season, Rob. So unique.
Very interesting. So we have not one but two exit interviews that we're going to talk about here today. We've been putting these in the main podcast feed. I got a complaint from somebody that said recently, "Oh, you just talked about live feed spoilers and didn't even play the buzzer."
I mean, Rob, you have to play the buzzer if we're going to talk about spoilers.
Play the buzzer. Play the buzzer. Do you think that we could should we? Okay, so I guess let me.
We can avoid spoilers.
Disclaimer. Should we use a disclaimer or hit the buzzer? Because we shouldn't. We should be able to talk about what we need to talk about here.
Okay, yeah. Then let's hit the buzzer.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Just letting you know, we're gonna mention things from the live feeds. Okay. Live feed spoilers. And
You've been buzzed.
Dwell on this, but I feel like that we should at least set the stage a little bit of where we are in case people haven't had a chance to are here with us live, haven't had the chance to watch the live feed update yet from this morning.
Well, to give you the update here, they played in the HOH and Kyland won the HOH. He plans to target Tiffany. Yeah. He does not feel like he does not feel like she deserves to be in the end as much as he used to. Instead, he feels like Xavier is the best player, and thus Xavier is the one that he wants to sit next to in the end, and not Tiffany.
But why?
Because he's Kyland. Because everybody has been telling him that Xavier will beat him in the end, and that has made him want to take Xavier to the end more. So he wants to either beat Xavier or lose to Xavier, the best player, according to him, and then be asked back, like Cody. And I'm not making this up. These are his words.
I've heard you talk about this. It just seems like he has like this, yes, that is what happened to Cody. But like that isn't like a hard and fast like rule of Big Brother of that, like you go to the end with the quote unquote best player, lose to them, and then you come back and then you play and then you win.
Yeah. It's it happened the once.
Yeah.
It's like the thing about Cody, the thing about like Memphis is that they were in these dynamic duos. They were asked back not because they made a decision or would have made a decision to go to the end with a person that would have beaten them, but they were asked back because they were part of these very memorable, the Hitmen, the Renegades, dominant duos that really did an incredible job of playing the rest of the house against each other. Cody took Derek out of loyalty, and the fact that they were such a strong pair. This is not the case with Xavier and Kyland. I mean, and Kyland knows this as well. He has said, I don't have that great of a relationship with Xavier. I just think he's the best player, and I want to lose to the best player. That's just who I am. He's a big fan of Dragon Ball Z, and he wants to be the Goku.
So true.
Yeah.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah. All right. Taran, let's listen in on our exit interviews. And of course, we get to watch them as well. Also, thanks to Jacob Jones, who was here in my spot last week as I can't believe it's been a week since we drove home.
Right?
Drove home from New York. It's been a minute.
Feels like it's been forever since I spoke.
I feel like it was yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Okay.
It feels like ages ago. It was before Claire was nominated by Tiffany.
Yeah. I know for you, some of these are like every day in the Big Brother house is like 4 weeks for us. Okay. You want to hear from Claire first?
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. Let's bring up Claire first here in her interview. And so let's go ahead and I will share my screen so we can look and hear from Claire. Okay. And just switch this over. That's always good podcasting. And we will watch our Claire interview. All right. Here we go. Make sure you could hear her. Okay.
All right. We are recording for Rob Has a Podcast.
I can
All right,
hear
you can
her.
hear that?
I can't see her.
Oh, okay. Let me just make sure that we will add that to the stream. That will help. Okay. All right, here we go. Here's Claire.
All right. We are recording for Rob Has a Podcast.
Hello, can I give a shout out?
Yeah.
Hello, Rob and Taran. Of course, I'm a huge fan. Of course, I listen to the updates every single day, and I'm pretty sure my family's been listening to updates. I sent them your link, but a true pleasure to be interviewed.
Oh, that was nice, Claire. Thank you.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
That's very sweet of her.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So shout out to Claire's family. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's hear question number one for Claire. Full disclosure that we kicked around some ideas for questions for Claire, but we did hand off the final question sent in to the RHAP staff. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, we are podcasting at the time that we have to be formulating these questions. Yeah.
So double eviction. Okay. I won't name names. All right. Let's see what questions. So we don't know what questions Claire's going to answer yet. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. Question number one.
What has it meant to you to be a part of this season?
Okay. It's meant to be part of this season. I'm very open ended.
Yes.
Okay, let's see what Claire has to say.
It's been an honor to be part of this season. It's an honor to be part of any season, but this season in particular, I am hoping will be an iconic season, and it's been a true blessing to be on it with such an amazing cast, such a cast of strong players who are there to be cutthroat and be strategic and make moves. And it's the most diverse cast that we've ever had. And it's just truly an honor to be a part of it. It means absolutely everything to me.
Okay. I think we needed to drill down a little bit more with question number one.
Yeah. It was,
nice. It was fine. Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, there's not a lot you can ask.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. Let's try question number two for Claire.
Looking back, do you think you would have used your secret HOH power differently?
Okay. All right. Interesting. But she's probably going to say no.
I think she'll say, yeah. I think she'll say she probably should have used it differently.
Okay. Let's see what she says.
Looking back, if I knew now what I knew then, maybe. But dang, Kylan and Sarah Beth are just so hard to trust. They make it so hard to trust them. Would I have maybe put up Alyssa and Derek F? Maybe. But it's hard to know, and it was hard to know what deals were being made. I think I wish that I had talked to Tiffany more, and I wish that I had tried to make deals and gather information before going to play. But there were so many unknowns that I did what I thought was going to be best, and maybe it was what was safe. But with all these twists, that's what I felt like I had to do.
Okay. Twists made her just want to be safe, Taran.
Yep. That's how it works.
Yeah. Well, she was very safe. She did keep it play it safe.
Yeah. In terms of playing it, yeah, she probably played it pretty safe. I mean, unfortunately, she doesn't know still that putting Alyssa and Big D on the block still it wouldn't have mattered that much.
Yeah, good point.
Same outcome. Yeah.
Claire does a lot of just like screaming in the diary room interviews. A lot of like, ah.
Did she just scream?
She does it a lot on the show. She did like a little one there.
It's like
like
what do I do?
Yeah. Okay. It's like a Chewbacca yell a little bit. All right. Let's go to question number 3.
You told Julie that you understood why Tiffany put you on the block. Can you expand on that?
Okay. Yeah, we wanted to hear her talk a little bit more about this. Let's see what she has to say.
Yeah, I think, what I understand where I'm at is that Tiffany came in this game and she said that she didn't want to be the person that is responsible for putting 2 people who are Black on the block next to each other and forcing one of them to be sent home. And that is something that she came into the house with the intention of doing. And she stuck with it until she couldn't anymore, until I was the last remaining option after Alyssa, who's still a person of color, but until Alyssa came off the block. And I have to admire and I have to respect that's something that she said she was going to do, and she stuck with it. And that's what I understand. And I understand why she feels like she needed to do that and look out for that for all of them in the house. And I think it's not something probably a lot of people maybe understand, but I think it's something that I could see, and I'm happy that she shared that with me.
So it's interesting that I think she feels like, okay, well, Tiffany has like something that she specifically wants to accomplish. I wonder if it changes her perception at all when she realizes that all of the cookout shared that same idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it's not something that she sees yet. I think once she gets to the jury house, and they start comparing notes, I think they're going to be like, this is making a little more sense. Kylan says there's a secret alliance. Azza says that she made a decision at the start of this game that, she has her own personal sort of decision that she's made. Now, Tiffany saying, I'm not going to put up these people. I think they're all going to sort of put it together at that point. And I think that I don't think it will change much for Claire in terms of how she sees Tiffany's decision.
Okay. All right. Let's go to question number 4 for Claire.
Who do you think is playing the best game thus far?
Okay. Who do you think is playing the best game? You have a guess?
I mean, obviously Xavier is a top pick. I think she would love to say Tiffany, but it's probably going to be hard to say Tiffany considering Tiffany just evicted her, which was not a great move strategically speaking. So I think she'll probably just say Xavier.
Okay.
Best game is so subjective. Because who's made the most moves that's benefited them? Maybe Kylan taking these odd shots. Who's playing the best? Who's in the best position to win is probably Xavier. Who's in the best position to get to the end? Probably Big D and Azza. I think that all of them are playing pretty good games, and of course Tiffany and Chad. If they get to the end, then that's amazing itself. But I think that there's still a lot of game left to play, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
Yeah, it's pretty spot on.
It's a very good answer, actually. I mean, she's completely right. Xavier is in the best position to win. It doesn't necessarily mean that he has made the most moves. She recognizes that Kylan has made some good moves, but some of them have felt a little random. Sure. And that obviously getting to the end, Azza and Big D are likely to, but not particularly likely to win. And she's correct that if Tiffany or Hannah were to get there, it would probably be pretty impressive, given that they are at a disadvantage at this point.
Okay. All right. Last question for Claire, and then we have our Alyssa interview coming up. Okay.
Who do you think is in the tightest alliance or who do you think is the tightest alliance in the house?
Well, tightest alliance in the house. What you think? She has an interesting answer here.
Tightest. I mean,
Xavier and Alyssa.
She might say Xavier and Alyssa. She might say Hannah and Tiffany. She might also say like Azza, Big D, and Xavier. I know that Azza was talking about that final three to her.
Okay. All right. Tightest alliance in the house, Claire.
This is interesting. I think that the tightest alliance in the house might be X, Big D, and Azza.
Oh.
And maybe Alyssa is somewhere in there as well. But I think that those three will stick together. X has no reason to turn on them, and they have no reason to turn on him. And I think that they could ride it out. I don't think Kylan's in any tight alliances, but I think he's probably in a lot of deals and a lot of alliances. But I really hope that Tiffany and Chada are also very, very tight and continue to look out for each other in the game.
Okay. All right. So good job there by Claire.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Should we get into our interview with Alyssa? Okay.
Let's hear what she has to say.
Let's see what Alyssa has to say. All right. Let me just pull this one up, and then we will hear from Alyssa. Okay. So in this window, and here we go. Alyssa interview. All right. Here she is. Alyssa. Okay. This is a short one. Okay.
Ooh.
Maybe all of our questions didn't get approved. Okay, let's see. Maybe it's just short answers. Okay.
We're recording for Rob Has a Podcast. Do you respect the
No
move
shout out.
Hannah made in the double eviction?
I do respect any game move people make in this house. I don't take anything personally. I do believe, though, that taking a shot at Xavier makes sense, but taking a shot at me was a waste of her HOH. I was never someone coming after her and sitting next to Kylan. He was definitely going to take that shot at her before I ever would.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Given that from her perspective, it really doesn't make any sense for Hannah to take a shot at her. I think that's understandable. I'm definitely curious to see how this changes her perspective, or how it changes her perspective when she finds out that Hannah was part of the cookout, that the cookout exists.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get as much insightful info here from Alyssa. Let's hear question number 2.
How did your strategy change once Christian was evicted from the house?
Okay. Anything you think she's going to hit here?
I think she's going to say that it was tough for her because she realized that she couldn't trust a lot of people that she thought she could in the house, and she had to sort of figure out where to go from there. I don't know,
Okay.
like that.
All right. Let's see.
Once Christian was evicted, I honestly do think that did help my game because I was able to act all alone, innocent, not having alliance members and not having people aligned with me. And people did believe that. I was able to just continue to lay low until I actually needed to start winning competitions.
Taran, does she know that Christian is going to the house to meet her after the season?
Does she know if he is? You mean?
Yeah. I think that was his plan, right?
Oh, that he's. I mean, they had an idea that they were going to, sort of like link up after the season. But I don't know if
does she
I don't
still
know
talk
if she's
about him
like.
a lot?
She doesn't talk about him too much, no. But I think that she's she's down to get back together with him.
Okay. All right. Question number 3.
Who, if anyone, do you feel the most betrayed by?
Yeah. What do you think? This is gonna be Hannah?
Really, Hannah, yeah.
Okay.
I don't take any of this game personally, but game-wise, I do feel betrayed by Hannah. I really did want to keep going with her in this game and be a final two. I think she risked me being on the block and didn't realize that other people want to take that shot at me because me and X are a strong duo that people do see.
Yep. Hannah, you blew it. You left Alyssa up on the block. You didn't realize they were going to go up for her.
Yeah, she still doesn't know. I mean, there's definitely a big perception shift that's going to happen when she realizes that the cookout exists.
Okay. All right. Question number 4.
Who do you think is the tightest alliance in the house?
Who does she think is the tightest alliance in the house?
She might say Kyland and Tiffany,
Okay.
which would be pretty funny. Yeah.
Let's see.
I do believe that X and Kylan possibly have some type of final two, and I think that's why they're not taking shots at each other. I also believe that I could see Hannah and Tiffany being close, Tiffany and Kylan being close. Honestly, I feel like everyone is really close. I really don't know anymore. I don't know why I was evicted, so it's hard to really tell, but I would say I could really see X and Kylan having a secret final two behind my back.
She's not wrong.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty
Okay.
good.
Ring the bell for Alyssa.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I wasn't expecting that. And then question number 5. Okay. Record time for Alyssa to get through the 5 questions.
Who is playing the best game thus far?
Best game.
I think she's going to say Xavier.
Okay.
Or, she may also say Hannah. I think she might respect Hannah.
I think Hannah is playing the best game, even though I do feel like she did waste an HOH this week. I think people are not targeting her. I think people underestimate her. And right now, that's what people are keeping in the house as far as her, Oz, and Big D. People underestimate them. But I think Hannah has the potential to win the competitions to get her to the end.
Okay. There you go. There's 5 questions with Alyssa.
Boom.
Yeah. We got
that to me, that's exactly why I wanted Hannah. That's why I was liking that Hannah was making that final two with Alyssa. I do think Alyssa is somebody that respects the game. The fact that that Hannah was being more active, she had this extra thing outside of the cookout. I think Alyssa seems to respect it, and she's going to go to the jury house, and I think they're going to respect it.
All right. If you are listening to us in the main podcast feed on the exit interview coverage, we're going to leave you now and say goodbye. And for the patrons of Rob's podcast, we are going to continue on taking your questions. Of course, if you would like to hear the rest of what we're going to talk about today, you can always jump in at robisawebsite.com/patron. All right. Now it's just us. All right. Taran, tell us what's really going on now.
Well, really, that's
what you should do. Okay, all right, all right. Let's go. Let's go to the calls. Jody, are you good now? Okay, all right. Jody had some service people at the house and now is ready to go. Jody.
Hey guys, the service guy just walked in and walked out, so I got literally 2 minutes here with you guys.
What was going on? You had a problem with your office chair?
yeah. Actually, it's the Fuller brush salesman's going to come over and he's going to re-fluff my brushes. It's great service. It's awesome.
Okay, Jody, what's going on?
Taran, my wife last night, she said that I'm just like Kyland.
Oh boy.
And and I know that I'm not, Rob, because I've been watching Kylan and he's made some terrible decisions. And I have not.
Mm-hmm.
As I look back over the last 65 days, I have not made these kinds of mistakes. And so I'm disappointed. I don't see it. Sometimes when I talk, I'm brief. I get to the point very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Even though your eyes may be glazing over as we speak, I'm still engaged in the conversation. This is all happening right now. I don't see it. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah, It is. On a serious note, though, it's interesting to me, Karen, that Kylan and X just keep transitioning back and forth as the adversary, or as the what do you even call them? They're just the guys you hate to watch, or making the most.
The antagonist of the season.
Yeah, there you go. It's just the antagonist, right?
Mhm.
But now they're both safe, and Tiffany is essentially in the same position that Claire and Alyssa were last night for the upcoming double. Do you agree with that? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, Tiffany is in a spot where she will likely go home if she doesn't win the veto. And I mean, the thing about it is that she knew that this was a position she was coming to. Now, I think that she could have played better to be in a better position than this. But she recognized that she was making a sacrifice to allow or to get the cookout to the final six, and that she was not going to be not only not going to be in the best position, but she was going to be stuck with some of the more difficult people for her to work with. I mean, one of the biggest aspects of Big Brother is figuring out who are the people that I gel with the best, and essentially eliminating the people who you have more trouble manipulating or getting along with. Tiffany did not really have that option. She had an exact amount of people that she was trying to get to the end, and those people were not the best people for her to go to the end with, and she knew that, but she went with it anyway.
Rob, the other day when Taran and Amon were having that podcast together, it was really meaningful. A lot of us got a lot out of that.
The live feed update for Monday.
Yeah. I think the most poignant thing, Taran, that I think you and Amon said together, or at the same time as, or was just kind of sit in your own discomfort. Do you remember saying that?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll tell you, being very frank and honest, there are differing opinions within our household about the viability or the enjoyment of this season. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. That's okay. We all don't have to see it the exact same way. And I just thought I even called my wife in, and we kind of watched that together. And it was very poignant and meaningful for us personally. So thank you for that.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jody, thank you for being so honest and highlighting that was such a great recap on Monday that I almost didn't listen to it on Monday. That I pretty much, I think maybe I've missed like 2 live feed updates like over the summer, but I was we were running around on Monday, and I had a couple other podcasts that I was doing, and I it was like 10 o'clock at night, and I said, all right, let me put it on. And I was so happy that I did, because, Amon is, such a, great voice in the Big Brother community. And Taran, you and he on Monday were, just think that was one of the top updates of the season.
Well, thank you. It was so great to be there with Amon. I feel like there are some moments when I feel like I'm like able to communicate properly, and I think Amon is somebody that really is helpful to me, because he is so eloquent in how he says things that it helps me formulate my thoughts better as well. So very, very grateful to Amon.
Just as am I, because I'm really very good at all that I do, and I don't make a lot of mistakes, and I'm just really basically perfect. So with that,
he's just Amon is so fantastic on the podcast, where he can be silly, and he can be light and funny, but then when he has a gear that he can go into that just is where he can just bring gravitas to something where that very few other people are able to, you just like that he can speak so powerfully about things.
It was great. Here, Taran, thank you again.
Yeah. Thank you for listening and for hearing it out.
Okay.
Very good.
Jody, thank you so much. Okay.
Thanks, bro.
All right. Bye. Okay. Let's say hi to Marietta's here. Marietta, how are you?
Hi, guys. I'm good. It's been a long time.
Yes. Marietta, what's been going on?
Good. I kind of couldn't catch the podcast live because I went for like a week to Barcelona, and then I had to catch up. But then also this, I know it's the time difference for me, but this is like 9 o'clock. Right now it's like 20 to 10, and it's Friday night, so I'm usually not at home, so it's very difficult to catch this live, and I'm always mad at myself because I really like talking to you guys.
Okay, well, we could
have you here.
be on at a better time, Marietta.
Because of the double?
No. We'll let it. You tell us a good time to do it. We'll be there for you. You're always so good. We'll reprioritize.
Yeah, the entire podcast has to be around me, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. What's been going on?
It's good. Well, kind of jumping off from the previous conversation, this season has really messed with my rooting interests because, well, the Cookout made it to Final Six. It's a historic moment. It's epic. We were kind of rooting for it because of the epicness of the moment and what it means. But at the same time, the players that I like, being Tiffany, it was bad for her game. So the whole thing kind of, I couldn't deal with the dichotomy of that.
Yes.
And I'm wondering how you guys see it and how you view them as, can you differentiate those parts as players and as people? Because it's very different. It's not like the other alliances where it's purely based on strategy. It's like representing something more.
Yeah, it's been a tricky season to analyze because when you're trying to determine like who is the best player this season, who's made the best moves, and all of that, you have to take into account that the usual motivations are not entirely valid. Usually everybody is there to win, and occasionally you get somebody in the game who cares more about their relationships than winning. And that is something that is, often taken advantage of in the game. But in this game, we had a group of people who all had their own common interest, getting all of the black players to the final six, which superseded their own interests and even their relationships that they had in the game. And trying to determine like, okay, well, this is what's best for, say Tiffany's game. But this is what's best for her goal, what she cares about more than her own position in the game. I'm sure for a lot of Tiffany fans, they're like, I would rather Tiffany win this thing than the Cookout get to 6. Cookout, you did fine. Get to 7, get to 8, whatever. Tiffany, please just do what's in your own best interests. But that's not what she wanted. What she wanted was for them to get to the 6. And so that's what she did, even though it cost her a significant amount of leverage in the game. And so, how do you contend with that? Are you able to sort of like be like, okay, if I am rooting for Tiffany, maybe I should be rooting for what she wants more than what I want for her. And if I am rooting, or if I am trying to analyze Tiffany as a player, how much do I factor in the fact that, she is now in a bad position, but because of decisions that she made that went beyond the game, and she made those decisions willingly, these are all very interesting discussions to have, I think, when it comes down to it.
Yeah, and I feel like that when we look at the best works of fiction, that I feel like that the things that people regard as having like the best endings to things are endings that turn out to be bittersweet, where the likely scenario is that Tiffany will have accomplished her mission and she likely will not win the game. And, it's likely that, Xavier or maybe Kylan, maybe Hannah, somebody else will go on to win the game. And when you look at like, different movies and things that are sort of like, like it's like you sort of like, there is happy parts to the ending and there's sad parts to the ending. And I think that is like going to be like the way that I think that we'll think about the ending to this season. But I do think that Tiffany will be more celebrated than whoever does go on to win this season.
Yeah, absolutely. But also it makes me kind of think, because she was from very, very early on setting her goal to getting the 6 to the actual 6. Why wouldn't it be more strategic to cultivate those relationships as much as she did the ones that with the people that she had outside of the 6, like DX and Claire and so on?
Yeah, and that's ultimately, her biggest mistake. But it kind of, harkens back to the previous question where, at the end of the day, it was best for her to just get these people out. These people were much more difficult for her to work on and with. But she's also not a perfect player. If she was, then she would have managed the relationships within the cookout better than she has. She spent a large portion of the game feeling comfortable because she was in such a driver's seat position. And I think resented the fact that she was carrying a lot of these people through the game, and let that resentment come through in her conversations with them and the relationships that she had with them. Despite that, she was actually shaping up to be in an okay position prior to last week, when again she makes the decision to really go for it and try to win that HOH, to keep Claire around. And then the fact that they were upset about her doing that, just again, like, because she made it her goal to get to 6, she neglected her secondary goals, which were winning the game, essentially. I can't say with certainty that she could have won the game if she had prioritized winning the game, but I definitely think that she would have been in a significantly better position to win the game. And I get that there are a lot of people that are criticizing her right now because of the position that she's in, but it shouldn't be too surprising. Again, at the end of the day, what the game is maximizing your odds of success. And she had to make decisions that decreased those odds. And she just wasn't a capable enough player to still win, even though she was making those decisions. And that doesn't make her necessarily a bad player. But it just doesn't make her good enough to succeed here.
And one last thing. Do you think it might have been better for Hannah? Well, it would have, but why didn't Hannah throw the double HOH?
Hannah was concerned that if she did not win this HOH, that her or Tiffany could be evicted if Alyssa won the veto, or if Alyssa won the HOH, which was a very real fear. It would have happened. And so she felt like she couldn't trust anybody else. If Big D were HOH, if Kylan was HOH, that potentially Tiffany would have been evicted. So she had to win HOH to make sure Tiffany did not touch the block, and that herself didn't touch the block. And she was right to do so. But ultimately, because Alyssa doesn't win that veto, it was an unnecessary sort of win.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's been kind of like a weird mixed season. I've seen people who have loved it. I've seen people who are very conflicted about it. But the analysis and everything is always great from you guys. And just before going, I just wanted to say, because I saw that some people sent podcasters, and Amanda so tweeted about it, not so kind messages because of like the roundtable. Just want to say I appreciate you guys, and I'm not the only one. You have like a whole community who appreciates what you do and what you bring and entertaining us.
Yeah, well, thank you, Marietta. I certainly appreciate that. I know Taran does too. I mean, this is a patron podcast, so I really don't think that it is the patrons that are doing these types of things. But it really makes me so sad. I've really thought about this a lot this week, where I feel like that there's so many people, and maybe Taran especially, that the audience, that it's such a, I'm sure that there's so many people that listen to the podcast that it's like such a highlight to get to hear from the podcasters. So many of them have such interesting viewpoints, and we have so much fun on the podcast. And I'm sure because I know it's how fun it is for me to get to listen to everybody on the podcast. And then when there are people who are, and I honestly, I think a lot of them are like young kids that are on social media, just like sending these messages where it makes the podcasters not want to do it, and it's so sad, because that the podcasters have so much talent and so much like positivity that they're bringing to the world. And it makes them not want to do like share as much, and like I feel like that's like a real negative.
Yeah, of course. And that's why, like I said, you have so many people just loving what you do and loving you, and thank you, just thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Marietta.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Bye, guys.
All right. Let's go. Let's say hi to Catherine. Catherine, you ready? Okay. Hi, Catherine.
Hi. How are you?
Very good, Catherine. What's going on?
Well, first of all, I love all the podcasts, and I look forward to the daily feed show, Taran. I really do. I really enjoy it. But I have a relative who's a casual viewer, doesn't listen to any podcast or have any spoilers or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And we were texting today, and he said something about reverse racism. Now, on a recent podcast, this was discussed that there is no such thing. So how do I address this? How do I explain to this person, or is it even worthwhile, but how do I express that it's not reverse racism, what's been going on? Anyway, that's my question.
I mean, it's a very common. I mean, I don't think there's a single tweet that I've made this season without at least one person in the replies like racist season. Just they feel very strongly about it. But if you're talking to somebody who's willing to listen, I think it's worth having the conversation. And you can see. You can sort of see why somebody who is ignorant to what Black people of color have gone through, both in the game and in our society, why they might think that, because they have not been educated on the topic, and they've not, I think, chosen to be educated on the topic at this point. But in terms of like trying to explain to them why, I think it's a matter of, I think it helps to understand where they're coming from in it, like why they think that way, so that you can sort of like explain it to them on a level that they're able to understand. But I think it's for me, it's trying to explain it as like, you don't have to fully understand, why they want to do what they want to do, or like exactly, like you don't need to feel that message in the same way that they do, because you have not lived through their experience. You haven't, you haven't watched Big Brother and seen, you know, when you see yourself on the show, you see somebody that you relate to that looks like you, and you see them fail time and time and time again, and it just reminds you of your own situation, like thinking about if you went on the show, or even just you just existing in our society, and that can be very frustrating. And so to be able to come on this show, a show that they, you know, a lot of them are fans of, that they have seen this happen time and time again, to be able to support one another, not to exclude other people, but to support one another, and empower each other to make it as far as they have, to make a statement, to say, this is our power when we can stick together. This is what we can do, and this is what happens when we are not isolated and you know, made to be the minority. I think that is the statement that they are trying to make. They're not trying to exclude anyone. They're not trying to. They're not in a position. And when it comes to, you know, racism, the term and the way that it's used, you know, racism is something that is backed by power. You know, that there is a power structure in Big Brother often that benefits the people who get along the best, who look alike often, and they are the ones that often have that power. And for people who do not usually have that power, to be able to claim some of their own, it shouldn't be seen as racism. Again, I think it should be seen as them coming together and supporting one another, because they need to, because that's what they have been facing for so long. And I think it's just, I think, like we talked about, like I talked about with Amon, like that might make you feel uncomfortable. It might make you feel like, oh man, if I were in that house, then I would be the one who would be excluded from this. That's okay, because that's what they live with all the time, every day. And they're just trying to take a little piece here and say, we don't have to feel that way this time. I think it's important to again, even if you don't fully grasp it and you don't fully agree with it, and you said that's not what I would do, that's not what aligns with my morals, like that's okay, because they're a different person and they feel differently, and respecting other people's views and beliefs and what they want to do, I think is you know, a key part of you know, empathy and understanding and you know, being better.
Yeah, and that was incredibly well put.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, Catherine, I don't know if you're gonna be able to, you know, I don't know, like this person that's in your life, I don't know, like you know, how much you're gonna really be able to you know, change their, you know, hearts and minds. You know, if you know, they've been watching the show for 10 weeks and are still struggling with this, like it may be a little bit of a lost cause, but you know, I think it is just such an important season for, you know, what it's meant to so many people that we've gotten to talk to on the podcast. And then also just in terms of like you know, what does the future of the show look like, that now that the Cookout has accomplished this. Like I think that, you know, Big Brother ends up like in a much better place moving forward for both the, you know, all of the different diverse players that come in and play in future seasons.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And I appreciate the thought is expressing it as a way of supporting people. And it's true, until you've walked in their shoes, you can't imagine their experience throughout their entire lives and through many, many generations, right? Or many hundreds of years, whatever. It's a difficult thing. But yeah, no, I appreciate your perspectives. I really do. And thank you. And I don't know whether I'm going to get into it with this particular relative, if it's worthwhile, because yeah, it's just hard sometimes to get people to see another viewpoint. And not that you have to change their mind, but if they could just shift their outlook just a little bit.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, it would be.
I mean, there's with a million other issues too.
Yes,
You could just
not only this, not only this.
get people to have like just like a little bit of like empathy. Feel like that we would go so far in this world.
Yes, it would. It really would. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, and I continue to enjoy it. The podcasts and the live feed bring me. I mean, the feedback on the live feed.
Catherine, where are you on the road today? Did you go to Tahoe?
So, I had a leak in my bathroom, and I had to leave very quickly.
Oh my God!
Man.
Abruptly leave home because they were taking down my bathroom ceiling.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah, I'm in Maryland right now.
Okay,
So
I noticed you
hopped
were
on Amtrak and
you
ran
weren't
away
in
from
your
home.
usual digs. Yeah.
No, definitely not my usual digs.
Okay.
But Flash Gordon's here with me, so
Okay, good.
it's all good. And yeah, he's been. So we just hopped on Amtrak and ran away from home because it was not going to be a nice place to be. Well, they took down a bathroom ceiling, and I said, I can't even take a shower. I can't even do anything in the bathroom because the ceiling's coming bits and pieces. You'd just be there for a few minutes. And anyway, so yeah. Anyway.
All right, Catherine, thank you so much. Okay.
All right, take care. Bye bye.
Right, take care. Bye. Let's say hi to Amanda. Amanda,
Hello.
how are you?
Very good. New patron, first time able to ask a question at one of these. So it's great to
see art behind you.
Yes, I'm a podcaster as well. So this is my my studio.
Oh,
Very
okay.
cool.
What are all of those different pieces of art?
Spirits is my queer mythology and folklore podcast. Join the Party is Dungeons and Dragons. We're doing a modern superhero campaign set in like a fictional upstate New York metropolis. And Next Stop is a modern sitcom, like Friends without all the fat phobia and like dated 90s jokes. So I run a studio called Multitude.
Yes. Okay. And when you say it's a sitcom, what does that mean? That the podcast is a sitcom?
Yeah, it's like a 10 episode scripted, like fully voice acted sitcom that we produced in January of last year and released just as COVID was happening. So it wasn't ideal timing.
You're killing
That's
it.
awesome. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I've also gone into streaming over this past year. So Taran, your like the waiting, the noties, the sounds, I'm in awe. I'm like, I have to get my OBS skills up to par.
Thank you.
Okay.
So my main question now is like, I've watched Big Brother for a long time as a casual, and this is my first year watching the feeds and participating in the community. What a year to do it. Very happy that this was it. And I am always so interested as like a person in media, when you all talk about kind of the differences between like how CBS is viewing things, the twists that they do and don't do, the competitions, all the ways that the twists kind of make the game actually worse. And I appreciate us listening, Taran, to your podcast and your first interview with Rob there. And Rob, you kind of mentioned like the necessity to maintain a cordial relationship with people who give you access. And, hopefully behind the Patreon wall, you guys can talk a little bit about just like how you think CBS views Big Brother and sort of that like discordance. Like the viewing experience seems so different between people who watch feeds, people who watch the show. The moments they cut the feeds are the moments I most want to know. Like I want to see the producers talking to the contestants. Like that sounds really interesting to me. So just you can just kind of give me a little history or context or opining about that whole situation.
Well, I think that first off, I think it's like a weird relic in that it has gone on for 21 years. And so I think a lot of the things that happen are not necessarily because they are the most like ideal way to do things. I think that a lot of what goes on in Big Brother is like, well, that's just the way we've always done it.
Yeah.
So,
and it's the easiest way to do it.
It's the easiest way to do it. And so, I think that for efficiency, I think a lot of the way things are done ultimately are done in that way. Like if they were going to like reimagine Big Brother like from the ground up, I think that it would probably ultimately like look and feel very different as a viewer.
Yeah. And I feel like this is the very like visual change that you can sort of see how much they lag, but like Big Brother had to have been like the last show in existence that was broadcasting in standard definition. Like they took so long to upgrade those cameras. And I think that, like, again, like that's like the visual representation of how I think they operate, which is they're just going to keep going, least path of resistance until enough resistance builds up that, all right, I guess we have to change this. And I think that's what we saw with casting this year. There was enough momentum that they were like, okay, I guess we have to do something. So they did. And I think that's, you know, that's what we're going to continue to see, you know, for Big Brother, and unless there's a change of leadership.
I think seeing Julie versus Jeff Probst in their kind of roles as the figureheads of these two shows is so interesting, like in the Survivor kind of preseason content, which has been amazing. I'm fully on board now. I'm looking forward to anticipating, you know, participating in all these shows. But, you know, it does seem like they are trying to kind of rebrand, or at least alter how they talk about the show in the very dark previews, you know, and like in all the social media content. I wonder, you know, I don't know, Jeff, this is complete speculation, but Jeff seems like this is his entire life.
Yes.
And, you know, maybe there's a kind of, there's no figurehead like pushing Big Brother to learn from things like Netflix shows, you know, and all of the kind of more like dating or isolation shows that have happened in the last couple of years.
Yeah, Jeff is like much more like the creative force behind Survivor. And there was actually an interesting article that Dalton Ross had about how they had a whole like idea for what the season 41 of Survivor was going to be like, and Jeff Probst ultimately scrapped it because Mike White didn't like it, which, you know, kudos to Mike White, because it sounded like it really stunk. It was like he went all in on the fire tokens, and Mike White, he like explained the whole thing to Mike White, and Mike White said, "But is it fun?" And he's like, "You're right." And they changed, like, completely threw the whole thing out. But
kudos for knowing when your perspective is wrong, though.
Yeah, Julie, it like really, it's like, especially like post like or like all of the like Les Moonves you know, era where she is like not with the talk, and like Julie used to have like 5 jobs, and Big Brother was one of them. Like now, like Big Brother is her only job, and she's gotten like a little wackier, but you know, I think that she's just basically shows up and reads off the teleprompter.
This is exactly the audience for this joke. In the most recent episode of The Challenge, CT was wearing like a cutoff sweatshirt with a cross on it. And I was like, oh, yo, that's Julie Chen's streetwear. No one got it. My partner didn't think it was funny, but someone here might.
Yeah. So,
I think like there was a period of time where Jeff Probst was like, it felt like he was kind of over Survivor. He was going to have his own talk show. And then it didn't really pan out. And then it felt like he was like, all right, you know what? Survivor is my legacy. And like, he really cares. He doesn't always make decisions that people agree with, but he really cares about the show, and he puts effort into it, it feels. Whereas I think that, you know, the people that make Big Brother, they have plenty of other ambitions. They try for other shows all the time. Most of them don't pan out. And I don't think they care as much about their product.
But that I would say also that this little distinction is like Jeff cares so much what like Hollywood types have to say about Survivor. Like he cares like oh, the fans, they hate everything that we do. But like if Mike White says, yes, I don't know. Oh, all right. If Jimmy Fallon is like, that didn't work. You know, he's very much like, you know, that he wants to be like judged as like such a you know, creative force on the show. So if like the Hollywood types don't agree, then he's very quick to make changes.
Rob, it's time to play Survivor. To change Survivor, we need to petition, you know, Jimmy Fallon, Mike White. We need to get into their ears so that they can get into Jeff Probst's ears.
Yeah. Like, well, maybe like Rafe will have some like feedback on Survivor now, and then he's doing a lot of big stuff. I gotta listen to him.
We'll see how real time goes.
If you guys are not the Big Brother influencers to change CBS's mind, I don't know what hope we have.
but I don't think that person exists for Big Brother.
Yeah.
Like I don't know who. Like I once talked about like the Big Brother house was like a house that prints money. Like, and I think that is ultimately like how it is viewed.
Yeah, hearing them promote the live feeds as free on Paramount Plus was such like I noticed that language right away because I'm like, wow, the feeds must be like the cash cow for and like that must be the middle of the pitch deck of every Paramount Plus related project that got made. I
Are
can't
they
imagine
free on
the
Paramount
percentage.
Plus? Is that true?
So you have to
Or
pay
you
for
get-
Paramount Plus, and then the feeds are on
Oh.
Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
So instead of saying like pay for the live feeds, they're saying, well, it's
Yeah.
free. Sign up for Paramount Plus.
Got it.
I don't know if that's actually significant, but I
No, I
tune
think
into
it's
ad
I think
copy.
it's a good call. Yeah.
Yeah, I do send people videos of Jeff Probst talking about Survivor to coach podcasters on how to talk about their own podcast because I feel like nobody is like self-hyping in the genuine way that Jeff Probst is, and it's just like it's delightful to watch.
Wow, Amanda, this is great stuff.
Well, really nice to meet you guys. I've been enjoying the content all season long and looking forward to another season of Survivor coming up.
Yes, all right. Nice to talk shop for a minute.
Nice, thanks, guys.
All right, Amanda, good luck with everything you're doing.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Bye.
take care. Bye. Okay. Let's say hello to David. David, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Very good, David. What's happening?
Hey, not much. I was really scared last night that things were going to go very poorly, and I couldn't watch the episode until the West Coast feed because I was just so worried for Tiffany and Hannah. But I'm glad that at least the 6 made it, But I wanted to like tease out Kylan's logic for taking X to the end and like being on a returning season because it really makes no sense to me. And I'm not sure what you guys, I'm sure you guys, I know you touched on it a little bit earlier, but like citing just Cody and Memphis, like, is there any other examples? I've been really trying to think throughout this call, like of other final twos that didn't win returning. Like there's been winners that have returned a couple times.
I mean, Daniel Reyes came back.
Yeah, but that would be more if like Jason and
Allison
Danielle
came back.
Yeah, that's true. And
I mean,
but in like the modern era, even like I don't know.
I mean that's like
player.
Runner ups like Paul came back, like getting the runner up. Tyler came back. It is something that happens a lot. But it usually happens because they can't get the winner.
Yeah.
Like it usually happens like everybody would prefer to have the winner most of the time, especially if it's the better player that won the game. Like nobody was dying to see Memphis back when if they could have had Dan. Nobody was dying to see Cody back or Derek, really. But like nobody was like, we need Cody more than we need Derek. People, I think, even would have preferred to see Derek. And that's because you want to see the person that won come back and try again. But Kylan just has this such convoluted logic. He has just there's something in his brain that is just like he thinks that he has this idea that a person has to be who they've portrayed themselves to be. That because he's portrayed himself to be the guy that's going to take the biggest competitor to the end, he has to follow through on that because otherwise he wouldn't be him. And if he wasn't him, he wouldn't be successful.
Yeah.
But he's the one that crafted that narrative in the first place, and he could very easily change it. I mean, he clearly is not. He doesn't know the fan base or the show well enough to understand that he's a joke right now.
Ooh. Well, and you'd think with like the BB Bucks, like that's a pretty good signifier that you're not super popular with the fan base. And, like I liked Kylan a lot earlier on in the season. And I feel like, all the SB stuff and the whispering and yada, yada has been tougher and tougher to hang with. But yeah, it seems like, well, using like the Cody and Memphis example, like they're tied to very popular players, whether you like, your mileage may vary, but like, Kylan's not even really tied to like a really popular
What about
player.
Sarah Beth, David?
Sure, I mean, she's
Very popular.
She's the villain of the season, but like
It's just absurd to me that he thinks that like it's the fact that he's trying to be noble makes it reprehensible. Like if he was just like, I think that this is my best move to evict Tiffany to get to the end and win the game, then there would still be people upset that are Tiffany fans, but it would be like, okay, if it was a mistake, they'd be like, what a dumb move, but he's just playing the game. If it was the right move, they'd be like, this is frustrating, but he has to do what he has to do to win the game. The fact that he's trying to make it out to be something noble has made it kind of reprehensible. Like, because instead of saying, I respect you, I need to take you out, what he's saying is, I don't respect you enough. That's why I'm taking you out.
Right.
And he doesn't see that. He doesn't see that he is being insulting by doing this, and that he is potentially showing some of his biases when it comes to how he views the games of the people that he's working with. And so I think that that this is he is going to be in for a surprise.
Yeah, it seems like Woo Tony logic almost.
Oh,
but
it's the right week for that.
Yeah, I know. And
but that being said, like Woo had to be convinced by Tony.
Right.
Like Woo wasn't like at the final four, like, I'm taking Tony to the end. He's the best player. I got to go up against it. Like up to the final three, he says to Cass, like, yeah, we'll both lose if we go against Tony in the end. Like Tony was the person that convinced him. Like, I don't think that this is Xavier, like putting in the work of like, Kylan, nobody will respect you if you don't take me to the end because you're all about, you're Mr. I have to beat the best player.
Yeah, I said this morning, this is like if Woo was like, I got to take LJ. LJ has to win this game. He's just the best player. Like Tony's right there, Woo. Like if you're gonna take someone and lose, what are you doing? Why you're gonna lose? You're gonna give your game for LJ? Like the fact that Woo gave up his game for Tony, now a 2-time winner, potentially all-time best player, is like, okay, he got tricked by Tony. But if Woo had been like, nah, it's got to be LJ. I got to give up my game to LJ. It's like, who is Woo at that point?
Yeah, it seems like Kylan just like has a huge lack of self-awareness and thinks his position in the house is, yeah. And I think there's a few people in the house that have a lot of a lack of self-awareness, but it's I wish that he would just take Tiffany. That's that's the dream, but it's looking dark.
We'll see. Got a veto to play.
It's true.
Yeah. All right, awesome. David. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank y'all. Have a good day.
Take care. Bye. All right. I don't know what it is about maybe the double eviction of the final six. We have so many callers today, Taran.
Yeah.
Make sure we get to everybody. All right. Let me go to Francesco. Francesco, are you good to go? Let's see. Okay, here's Francesco.
Yeah.
Yes. How are you?
Oh, good. It's my first month as a Patreon, so I'm really happy.
Where are you calling from?
From Italy.
Oh, okay. Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Yes.
So I drank some wine, so I forgot my really serious question that I thought of initially.
Yes.
But first, I want to thank you very much for everything you've done this summer. It's been so happy. I'm being so happy to listen to you. You've been such a positive part of my summer. I have to thank you. I haven't always been happy this summer, so you made me happy. But I have a question about the Julie Chen soundbite.
Yes.
As I wrote.
Yes. Which one?
I've been obsessed with this Julie Chen soundbites. My favorite is probably the Destiny. It's so funny. She's such a comedian.
She makes herself laugh. Yeah.
She's such a comedian. She's genius.
Yes.
So I have a question. So if you were on a desert island on your own, you could only bring one Julie Chen soundbite to you to keep you company. Which one would you choose and why? That's a good one.
Let me see if I have maybe I have a throwback of one from pre BB23 here. Yeah, one of my older favorites was I like to do
Fake news.
That's a good one.
Yeah. No, but she's been on fire this season.
She's
Give it up for Julie Chen
so
Moonves.
funny.
Yeah. So and when we get BB Celebrity also, she might be extra wacky.
Well, that's like I feel like now that this is Julie Chen's only thing, I do think she cares more. Like I feel like she's more excited about the show, even though like it's not like she cares more like Arissa cares about the show, but like she's more invested in like she's like, oh, like let's do this.
Yeah. I also wonder that I had an old BB episode on the other day, and like it was like palpable to feel the difference between when the audience is there and when the this season without the audience. That do you think that without the audience to play off of, that she's just like a little bit more out there and just like throwing things against the wall?
Probably, especially I mean, if you're used to the audience being there, you know, like there's a distinct difference between and you know, like I'm sure we like you felt it too, Rob, like when you're doing a live show versus just a podcast, you're speaking into a void versus speaking to an audience. There is a big difference, and if you're used to speaking to an audience, I can imagine that the like utter silence of no audience would make you occasionally just be like, woo, just
Making myself laugh.
making myself laugh. Like you just fill that silence yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Francesco, anything else going on?
No, I just had this. I had a serious. I swear, I had a better question, but I forgot about it because of the wine.
That's okay.
It's all right.
But I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to talk to you. It feels crazy. It's my first month. I'm happy to talk to you. It's been a great season. It's been a great season. I love it. Thank you you've been such a positive part of my summer. I appreciate everything that you do. I just felt like becoming an operation to give you a special thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
Francesco, so happy to have you on board. Okay, have a great
Thank
night.
you.
Okay, let's say hi to Baby Andy. Baby Andy is back. Baby Andy, how are you?
Hey, good. How you doing?
Yes. What is going on?
So I wanted to talk about Hannah, and I didn't get a
Yes.
chance to listen to this Alyssa exit interview, but
Yes.
even when I was watching the double, I felt like Hannah did a poor job with her HOH. I feel like her number one priority was to like keep her story straight with Alyssa and not have to like confront her in the real time. But if her goal was to get rid of Alyssa and keep the cookout happy, and then also not piss off Alyssa, I feel like she failed on both accounts, and like it backfired because obviously she went so far along the narrative she actually put up Kyland, which like triggered Kyland.
Yes.
But on the other side of the token, Alyssa's gonna find out everything in jury, and when she learns about the cookout, and she's gonna have a lot to process. But she's gonna be like, so what was Hannah doing? Just trying to like fool me on live TV? So I just feel like, and my question is, curious to get your thoughts about this. Wouldn't Hannah have been better served once like Alyssa lost to veto to like, and they're talking in the bathroom, to just like look Alyssa in the eyes and be like, I'm sorry, I have to cut you. Like, you know, you'll find out why, or whatever she needs to say, but like own up to it and then put up big D and not have to piss off Kylan. Sorry, that was a lot.
I will just say that when we in the exit interview with Alyssa, she did say that she respected what Hannah did, but she doesn't have all the information yet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a case to be made for that for sure. But I personally wish that they would have just told Alyssa, because I wanted to see the reveal like on the show rather than like them in the jury house. But there is, I think, also something to be said about, you know, just kind of peacefully letting the person go. You know, Hannah, I don't think is the person Alyssa is going to feel most betrayed by once she finds out about the cookout. I think she's going to feel most betrayed by Xavier and the fact that he didn't tell her. And I think that, you know, if Hannah tries to be the one that's like, hey, I'm taking the shot at you, I don't think Alyssa will understand why, and she can try to explain it, but there's not a lot of time, and then that could cause them to get into a fight, which might cause her to have like negative feelings about Hannah more so than she already does. So, you know, I do think there are some risks to that idea as well. And sometimes you do just kind of want somebody to leave, you know, feeling like okay, like right now, Alyssa feels like Hannah made a mistake. I don't think she meant to target me. But I still respect her game, and I'm annoyed that she did it. I feel betrayed by her, but I think she's playing well. Once she finds out about the cookout, I think things will start to click into place. Oh, Hannah wasn't making a mistake. She meant to take me out. She was playing me just like Xavier was playing me, just like everybody was playing the entire house. She played Derek X. She played everybody. And so I think it's probably a better place for her to learn it because it's not as attached to her current circumstances. Right. So I can definitely see why it could play out that way as well.
Yeah. I just feel like I think a lot of players have this sort of misconception about jury management and like trying to keep the blood off their hands. And I just do feel like, and maybe in this circumstance, it's going to be fine for Hannah. But I just feel like if you go through to such lengths to keep a narrative to someone that you're sending out of the house, and then they find out about it in jury, that's like the number one way to make someone bitter towards you as they learn information. It just reminded me of Paul during the BB19 double, where as like Whistle Nuts leaving, Paul's like, "Oh, it wasn't me," pissed, you know. So and that backfired. So I don't know. I think it's just like a sort of a larger discussion.
What a throwback!
Sort of like it's fresh for me, at least a little bit. But yeah, I'm just interested in this idea of like the sort of fundamentals of jury management as you make a move against someone. I just feel like, generally speaking, going through those absurd lengths to create a narrative just so you don't have to confront them as they're leaving the house could be a mistake in the long run. But those are just my thoughts on it. And I'm not totally caught up. I don't know if there's like, was there real damage that Hannah did to Kylan's relationship by putting him up as the replacement nominee?
I mean, they didn't have a great relationship to begin with. I don't think it really changed anything, but keeping him off the block, I think, would have at least been a step forward in building something, especially now that he has won the HOH. You know, she would at least have something to say that like, hey, I didn't put you up. You know, I really do want to keep you around. But yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Baby A. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Good luck to the Bills on Sunday. All right.
Oh yeah. All right. Cool.
All right. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye. All right. Let's say hi to Lena. Boy, we still have about 9 people on hold, Taran. We need to pick up the pace a little.
Lightning
bit.
round.
Okay. All right. Let's say hi to Lena. Lena, how are you?
I'm great. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Yes. Where are you calling from, Lena?
I am actually in Boston, but I am moving to North Carolina.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm looking to hear from Taran, maybe offline, what company I should not use when moving. And Rob, maybe from you, what are some of the good areas to look around in RTP and like that area?
Okay.
But maybe that offline.
Okay.
In terms of my question, I actually have a follow-up on what we discussed before with Kylan. So Kylan has this amazing idea that he wants to be the person who comes back, who is asked to come back. It seems to me that right now, there's a lot of people ahead of him. There's DX, like favorites. Tiffany probably is ahead of him. Maybe even Claire with everything going on last week. So what Kylan actually can do to get ahead of them in this mission of his to be the favorite to come back? What do you guys think?
Yeah, how does he, I mean, could he make a idiotic blunder, Taran? Could he become famous for that?
I just feel like it's so easy. You just win the game. Winners are remembered and winners are asked back.
And you're going to bring KC back.
Exactly. Like you could be the most boring, hated person. As long as you aren't from season 15, they're going to bring you back, or season 21 at this point, right? They're going to bring you back.
Yeah.
Well, that was my question, because I just feel like he wants this so bad and he's just failing all along, understanding that he's not a favorite to become that person.
Yeah.
So it seems like he will be a lose-lose situation either way.
I know that Kylan has really been like caught the ire of a lot of people on social media. I feel like that Kylan, the TV show character, I feel like has not really been a huge presence on the show. Trying to think of a memorable moment he had on the television show.
Well, one thing that people are saying is that maybe we want another duo season with those Hannah and Derek X duo, with Claire and Tiffany duo. So maybe he can be, yeah, maybe he can be part of that duo season with Sarah Beth.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're interested to see this again.
Maybe save him for the Amazing Race.
Maybe, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Another season. Anyway, I know that there's a lot of people waiting, so I wanted to just thank you guys for providing all this content.
Yes.
Again, I'm really happy to be here. This is my first time, hopefully not the last time.
Cool.
And looking forward to hear and to see how it will all get to the end, I guess.
Okay. All right, Lena, take care.
Bye.
Okay. Let's say hi to Mike. Mike,
Hey,
how are you?
Very good yourself.
Very good, Mike. What's happening?
Very important question. Taran, did I see you kissing your cat on the lips?
Of course. I would never not kiss my cat on the lips.
You're perfect for this.
I want to be blocked.
Thumbs up. Yes, good job.
So I had a couple of questions. One was about Asa and Big
Circle
D.
Roundtable coming tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be listening. Asa and Big D, like, are they drawing dead at this point? Can they only beat each other?
Yeah, pretty much. I think actually, I think that I think that I think Big D is probably just straight up drawing dead. But I think that if he had any chance of winning, it would be up against Asa.
And do you think he knows that?
No.
No. Okay, I don't either. Okay, and the other question I have is, like, next week's going to be a 2-hour episode on Thursday. Like, how are they going to fill that 2 hours?
Such a good question.
Ideas?
It's really, Mike, there's an episode on Friday also.
I guess that's a recap.
So I think that next Sunday, a week from Sunday, is actually the Emmys, which is going to be on CBS. So I think, based on what we're trying to figure out, that we are probably going to get the nominations in that Sunday episode, or so that Friday episode. So I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it. Potentially with like, could we potentially get like 2.5 evictions? Where could we get the next HOH in the 2-hour block?
That would make sense. Yeah,
it could be possible.
Maybe in the first hour they'll treat it like a normal episode, and at the end of the hour, Julie will pop the double on them.
Oh, that's possible.
What if they had like half of a double eviction, or they have the double eviction and then additionally have the next HOH competition and also nominations. The next nominations that same night, and then they wait to Friday to show the veto.
Well, they don't
not going to do it.
The veto on Friday. They'll have like their regular Wednesday episode. So it's like the Sunday episode on a Friday. So they just need to figure out a way to get like the nominations done by the end of the Friday episode.
And of course, it's possible that they pull a Big Brother Canada and that they do it's a fake double and somebody battles their way back in. And then then they have the HOH competition on Friday.
Well, you'd have to have nominations on Wednesday also. If you didn't get that by the end of that episode. So we'll see what they're like. We're in uncharted waters, Mike.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what the over under is on the number of awkward moments from Julie on the 2-hour episode.
Probably more than a few. We'll see if we get any sort of like, I'm sure we'll do like a very long, lengthy jury house segment at the start of that 2-hour episode. So we'll see.
Well, interesting to see how it plays out. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. All right, Mike. Take care. Bye.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to Mario. Mario, you ready? Okay, hold on. Here's Mario. Hey, Mario.
Hey guys, can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, yes.
Perfect.
Okay.
I'm doing laundry real quick, and I'll be quick because I don't want anyone else to wait. So excited. I was all nervous all day yesterday. Tiffany was going to go home with a double, and just watching it play out. My question is, do you think that the cookout without Tiffany's guidance would have made it to the end? Do you think that, 'cause I know a lot of the early boots were kind of like her doing, and I don't know if the other five, they're all great players in their own way, but I don't know if they would be able to stick together. Was she really the glue, or is that just my blinders on because I love her so much?
Yeah, it's a good question because a lot of the success of the cookout did have to do with her plan of, having everybody having the pawn. Taran, do you think that they could have done this without Tiffany?
It's a good question, and people are talking a lot about like the glue or like who kept them together. I think that I think that their mission kept them together. Like that's why, like when they're like, oh well, Xavier, was the glue, or Xavier kept them together. They, despite how much they disliked each other at times, they were always still down for the cause. So there was no need to keep them together. It was all about managing the other people and preventing them from targeting the cookout. And in terms of that, Tiffany and Kyland put in by far the most amount of work. And Tiffany really orchestrated not only just the plan, but also just specifically like, Kyland, you need to get in with Sarah Beth. And she said, Hannah, you need to become Derek X's pair. Like, Xavier's going to have Christian or Alyssa. And Azza and Big D need to manage Brittany. And it was that structure that kept them safe through the entire thing. And prior to that, they did not really have that kind of structure. We saw Xavier trying to manage keeping Hannah around during Christian's HOH, and he was floundering. They were all having trouble. A lot of people were looking at Xavier as a target, but because of the structure that they came up with, he was going to be next to Alyssa. Kyland was going to be next to Sarah Beth, and they were all going to manage to be safe. So I would say, could they have done it without Tiffany? It's possible, but I would say it's a lot less likely.
Also, 6 is a bigger number than 5, so you have that just level of maneuvering. But I'm praying to every deity there for Tiffany Vito now, and just got to keep up the faith here because I really need to see her win. But I'm so excited. And frankly, this is my favorite season. Been watching for more than half my life. You can't describe how good it felt to see them 6 sitting there and doing their thing. So thanks for the good feedback, and thanks for entertainment. I'll see you guys later.
Okay, Mario, thank you so much. Take care.
Have a good weekend.
All right, bye. Okay. Let's
All
say hi
right.
to Joe. Joe, how are you?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
Very good, Joe. What's going on?
Well, what a night last night.
Yep.
That was history in the making, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now the real game begins. That's the way I'm kind of looking at it.
Sure.
But should be a wild final 3 weeks of the season. Even if the schedule seems a little
Schedule is definitely. I mean, the schedule for Big Brother always is wonky in September.
right, because you have football and
Well, it used to be that CBS had football, and then it seems like now it seems like they're trying to counter program football. So, it's and then Sundays that they do have football, so then the schedule gets pushed back. So,
Right.
that Sunday night's episode, just a programming note. I'm not sure if CBS has a double header, but I think that it could be like one of those weeks, Taran, where it's like, all right, well, it looks like we're gonna get a 8:52 start time for Big Brother Sunday night.
yeah, it's gonna be like an hour late. I'm already, which is fine because now that I'm basically on the West Coast, don't really have access to the East Coast feed anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, actually, I feel bad because I keep calling into these BB shows with questions that aren't related to BB, but what the hell is this about the Amazing Race coming back? How is that?
I don't know,
How's
Joe.
that even possible?
I
Right?
don't. I don't know if they're going to do a U.S. season, or I don't know. Also, if
They
maybe.
have to, wouldn't they?
Yeah. I
'Cause
don't
that's the only
know.
thing.
Yeah, that my
Like-
only and I don't know for certain for anything, but I just wonder maybe like to keep it from like going into some sort of like a status of being like officially canceled. They have to like announce that it's coming back, even if like they don't have a date attached to it.
Because, like, Rob, after season 32 last year, I thought, all right, well, this show, we're probably not going to see it for a long time. And I, accepted that. And I'm like, and I thought, and I got into the thought process of, well, we'll know we're through this pandemic as a world
Nature is
when
healing. The Amazing Race
goes
is
back
back.
into
Yes.
production. that was to me.
Yeah, I don't know, Joe.
But it's like, but even if they do it, I mean, I'd have to think with all the travel restrictions, they're gonna have to do it in the U.S., right?
You look, your guess is as good as mine on this.
I mean, hey, they've done it before. Although, and I don't think the family edition flopped because it was filmed all in
the
the
only
US.
thing I will say, if you like most of the tasks are outside, I don't know if that plays any factor in it, but yeah, we'll as soon as we know more,
Maybe it'll just be an
information on this.
actual race. It'll just be a foot race.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Joe,
So
anything else going on?
Yeah, I do actually have one quick BB question. Like, I get that the double kind of messed things up for them in this sense, but couldn't they have taken like the 5 minutes or whatever for the commercial break after the veto to just let the cat out of the bag? Because as soon as Claire gets into that jury house, from what we've seen, it seems like the jury's already kind of put the pieces together anyway, for the most part.
Well, that might be an interesting spot in the 2-hour episode on Thursday, Taran, where, okay, it's like now Claire and Alyssa have reached the jury house, but does the jury have enough pieces to put together the puzzle
I
that
think
is the
once
cookout?
she tells them what Tiffany told her, yeah, they're going to figure it out. That this was a
I think
alliance, and now their goal of, well, we want to control the narrative, which they've talked about all summer, that's kind of out the window at this point. If the jury, because I would think if Claire goes in there and tells the rest of them what Tiffany told her about why she put her up, then there you go. At that point, you'd have to be morons not to put the pieces together.
Well,
They're
that's
great
what
at
Doombot called them. Yeah.
not great moves for their games, but I mean, come on. So it's just like, I know it wouldn't have been ideal because they wouldn't have had a lot of the time that they would have wanted to really sit down and explain it. But she's out the door anyway. Like, you might as well just tell her. She's gonna find out when she gets to jury. They have to know that at this point.
Yeah, I think it's, unfortunately it's just like a bigger conversation than the time limit would have allowed. I would have liked to see it because it would have been, I want that
Well, we
moment
probably
on,
wouldn't see it till
in the game.
Sunday. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah, and we would have seen it, but it would have been fun, but ultimately, the timing of the double eviction didn't really allow for it, unfortunately.
And that's the thing is, why don't they do these doubles earlier? Because now we've got like.
Well, I think that the reason is that they realize the show is super boring when there's 3 people in the house, 4 people in the house. So I think that they try to get as far as they
Okay, then do a double from 5 to 3. Because that final 4, it's all about the veto anyway. So and once it really just comes down to who wins the veto, and there's not really much.
I mean, that's kind of what they do in Celebrity Big Brother.
Like, just, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
just go from 5 to 3 in one night, and then there you go. I don't know. It just,
yeah.
I don't get it. This show baffles me.
No, I mean, you're not alone.
But no, I'm happy for the cookout that they accomplished their mission, and I will be excited to see how the rest of this plays out.
Okay.
Because, as I said, the real game begins now, right?
Yeah, this is the home stretch. All right, Joe. Thank you so much. Okay.
Yeah, you have a good day, guys.
All right, take care. Bye.
Yep.
All right, Rob. There's somebody here named Jay.
Yes.
Jay is here.
Hi.
Who's Jay? It's
Hi,
who's
guys.
this?
Hey, Jay.
Hi.
It's Jacob Jones. We're back at the club. The Q&A has been taken over. Oh, it's over.
Oh my God.
Rob, why are you stealing my seed?
Sorry.
Like, what
Sorry.
is
I
this
guess
about?
I guess I should leave.
No, you should. I mean, yeah, obviously.
I'm just saying. Did we notice how many new patrons were calling in today?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they happened to show up at the club last night. They heard about the club. They were like, I need to get into that exclusive club.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm just saying. Y'all look amazing right now too.
Thank you, Jacob.
Yeah. Rob got his tan, got his lighting. Taran, I messaged you this. Your hair looks amazing.
Yeah.
You look, so eloquent. And yeah.
Yes. Did you have a question, or you want to?
Wait, I actually do have a question. I actually do have one question. So, and it's not really like an in-depth question, but I wanted to get if you could. So we know Celebrity Big Brother is coming back up, right?
Yep.
I, for one, am ecstatic about it. So stoked, sweating profusely when I saw the news. Very elated. I have.
Aaron, you didn't have any like January travel plans or anything like that, right?
No.
Okay.
Taran is moving back to Boston. He's gonna move.
Yeah, in the
back
winter.
during that time.
Mm-hmm.
In the winter.
He's a reverse.
Oh
snowbird.
yeah, that would be horrible. You should come to Texas in that time. Just thought.
You should come to San Diego in that time because it's going to be nice here.
Just meet in Vegas.
Vegas. I've only been to Vegas once, but I wasn't old enough to gamble.
It's a fun time.
Or drink. But if you guys could have one celebrity on your wish list, like a celebrity like wet dream to be in the house, who would it be? And make it juicy. Don't say like, oh, Colin Kaepernick or I don't know, Brett Favre. Like, give me some. Like,
I mean,
give me,
you stole mine.
I know, right? Give me something with like some juice. I'll go mine. So
yeah,
I'll go mine. So Taran, last time we bonded over this, it was a very connecting moment. Real Housewives star Candy Burris. You loved her. I love her. I don't just love her in the context of Big Brother. I love her in the context of life. So my favorite Real Housewife ever. She's on Dance with the Stars right now. So I don't know if it'll be like a, can't really do it. But it shoots in January and she's amazing. And her name is Kenya Moore.
Yes.
So Kenya Moore from Real Housewives of Atlanta, because we need an Atlanta housewife in that thing. No lie, no cap, all juice, no smoke. And so that's my or Keke Palmer, which Taran doesn't know who Keke Palmer is.
Mm-hmm.
But Rob, I'm hoping that you know who Keke Palmer is.
Certainly.
Who? Rob, are you serious?
I know the name. I know the name.
Yeah, the name. I know the name.
She was on Akilah and the Bee. She is like she's on numerous TV shows. She's in movies. She like True Jackson VP on Nickelodeon. Rob, like, what are you showing your kids?
Big Brother 23.
Okay, yes, yeah. You need to take it back a few. So that Keke Palmer and Kenya Moore are my like. But Keke Palmer was tweeting about Survivor.
Yes.
In like the new realm of when it was on Netflix.
Yes.
And
I think that's probably where I heard the name of like that.
Oh, that's only it?
I think that's well. What do I do? I'm a mile deep on Survivor. That I hear about a celebrities watching Survivor. That's what I hear about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Taran, who is yours?
I don't know enough. Like what I've said is that I think it would be cool for. I think Matt Eisman should play Celebrity Big Brother because he's the host of American Ninja Warrior. He won Celebrity Apprentice, and he's a fan of the show. And he's a cool dude. And I think it would be a good fit.
Yeah.
And I think it's a realistic choice. In terms of like non-realistic choices, I'm like, I don't even know.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm so jacked. Yeah.
See, that would be
Win
fun.
OTEV.
The live feeds during Celebrity Big Brother are like my fantasy, like to watch. Wait, so sorry, Tiffany New York Pollard.
Yeah.
Yes.
People have thrown that name out.
You haven't thrown it around?
No, but I mean that's the name. And Matt Scott last night said that was number one on his wish
The
list.
queen of reality television. I was literally 11 years old watching her on TV. I should not have been. So I turned my volume very low and I sat this close to my screen so my mom wouldn't hear the TV still on.
Mhm.
She was calling everybody, like bitches and hoes, and somebody spat on her, all that type of stuff. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a
I think
fantasy
that has to be like a given. Like she has to be, if they're going to continue to have celebrity seasons, she is the one name that has consistently been popping up.
Oh yeah. I mean, after her stint on Celebrity Big Brother UK, it's like, how can you not want this woman in every inch of your life?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Period.
Jay,
Jay.
do you want to answer some questions with us?
Yeah, I'll stick around. I just made
Okay.
some pasta, so I'm here for it.
Okay, I gotta wrap this up in about 10 more minutes. It is Nicole, the first lady of podcasting's birthday today.
Rob, you're gonna be in trouble.
I am gonna be in trouble. Yeah, this is this is the longest one of these that we've ever done. All right, let's keep going. Let's go to a little bit of the lightning round. Okay, let's bring in Robbie.
Hey guys.
Robbie, how are you?
Doing good. How are you guys doing?
I mean, how can we be doing bad? Look at this panel.
This is a wonderful panel. I feel like I got the bonus content with Jacob Jones here.
Yes.
His second win ain't shit.
Mhm.
That was funny.
I was gonna throw out Johnny Bananas as the other name that gets thrown out every time there's a Celebrity Big Brother cycle. He's already trolling the internet about it, so that'd be fun. But the question that I have is, so effectively whoever gets voted out here is going to become like the jury foreman because they're the ones with all the information. Has Tiffany, or like Tiffany is the greatest danger right now, is she playing this angle with Kylan? Should she be playing this angle with Kylan that she's literally going to control the vote? Like she's
It
going
would
to
be a
control the jury.
mistake for Kylan to send Tiffany because and look at the people in the jury that people like Derek X and Claire, she's gonna be controlling the narrative in the jury.
Yeah, she's told him that she would campaign for him on the jury. She said that a couple of weeks ago. She said, "But don't take me out because of that." So she has not used this on him yet. I don't know if she plans to, but she certainly should.
I mean, Taran, I feel like even you said like she's really big on loyalty. So do you think if like Kylan that she's still gonna be like, I want you to win, homeboy?
I can't imagine that if Kylan cuts her here, that she'd be chill with just like, yeah, I want to campaign for Kylan on the jury. I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Is this something that she should be pulling out? Like, I guess, did noms happen either before noms or before veto? Because like at some point it becomes too late and it just becomes like this empty threat that you're saying to someone who doesn't really have any power anymore.
And that's the problem. She had a conversation with him. She knows it didn't go very well, but he also wasn't open about the fact that he was going to nominate her. So I don't think that she knew that she had to pull this out. And now they're just waiting for noms. And once noms happen, it's kind of too late. It's out of Kylan's hands.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got. I'll let anyone else on the call jump in. And thanks for having me on. This was
Thank
great.
you, Robbie.
No, thank you.
All right. Bye. All right. Let's go to Corey. Corey is here. Corey, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. It's great to be here.
Yes, Corey. What's happening?
A couple things about Kylan. Have you noticed that his babbling? He's often able to speak very succinctly. His babbling, though, always has seemed to me as if that's when he's trying to figure out the prevarication. How is he going to lie or not answer this question? And I'm surprised that they don't catch on to that because he can give an answer just like you and me normally, if he wants to.
Mm-hmm. I thought he also that I didn't talk about this on the podcast last night, but I pulled the clip. I thought his speech when he was on the block was like all over the place. Here was Kylan like, all right, Kylan, your turn to address the House.
I respect y'all's decision for your individual game, and I love all of you, and I don't feel any negative way towards you. I don't know if that's ever been confusing, but you look great. Family, I love you. Chada, congrats on the win.
I don't know if that's been confusing, but I don't feel any kind of negative way toward you. Great. Like, I love all of you, and I don't feel any kind of negative way toward you. I don't know if that's been confusing. Like, that's so
And please
bad.
vote for me.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
He
It
would have been
makes
better
sense.
off with just a Chef Joe, just like.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
My other observation about Kylan is I know he wants to claim to be like Cody, but there's no way they are because Cody and Derek were friends throughout the season.
Yeah.
He just is forming a friendship, quote unquote, with X. And my thought is he thinks he's very smart, and chances are he really is. And he actually wants to be more like Ian, who is this quirky kind of guy that then forms this late into the game relationship and has to be the best, you have to beat the best. And that maybe he doesn't realize it, but that's how it seems to me.
Interesting.
And I'm tired. Go ahead.
I would say Kylan is, to me, he was very endearing at the beginning of the season, and now I just find him very annoying. And so with all of his jambles and things like that, and so I'm like, I can't really get into anything that he says. I'm just like, yo, what's up, man? And Xavier was kind of just like bitching about him like last week or 2 weeks ago when they had like their little beef. And so I don't know why. I don't know where this, newfound, oh my goodness, Xavier is coming. But hey.
Okay. How's that?
Well, it's great to finally speak with all of you, and thank you for all the great work that you do. Go on to the next caller.
All right. Thank you so much, Corey. Okay. All right. And then we'll wrap things up with Christina. Christina.
Hello.
Hi, Christina.
Hi, Christina.
Oh my gosh. I'm so nervous. Oh my gosh. I can't believe this is happening right now. Okay. First of all, this is my first time doing this. I've never talked to any of y'all, but I've been a patron for like months now.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. So I just want to say that I have a question, but I want to say this real quick. That I understand that like some people are mad at the cookout because like how they came together and everything like that. But like if the members felt like that was the only way for them to have a Black winner, then I'm not going to be mad at them. And me as a Black woman, like I've been watching Big Brother since 17, and like Dave Vaughn, I'm not going to cry or anything because I don't want to cry on here, but watching Dave Vaughn, I don't want to cry. I'm so sorry, guys.
Okay. Christina, you're doing great.
Dave Vaughn coming back on 18 is the reason why like I became a fan of Big Brother. Like I watched 17. She left very quickly, obviously, but her coming back on 18 is the reason why I stayed with Big Brother. And like she's the reason why like I'm not a casual of Big Brother. I was a casual 17, but like 18, I'm not a casual anymore. The reason why I give CBS my money to watch the live feeds and stuff. But and she's also the reason why I was 13 when 17 aired. So she's like the reason why I dreamed of going on Big Brother and to be the first Black winner. And because Davon wasn't able to do it, now being 19, obviously I've grown. I don't want to be in Big Brother anymore because like I realized that I'm I'm a little socially awkward. I have a lot of anxiety, so that would be terrible for me to go on Big Brother. But now like watching this season, like I'm really happy. And I really, really, really want like I really want Tiffany or Hannah to win, but it's looking really hard for them right now. So I will be sadly but happy for Xavier if he ends up winning. But yeah, I just wanted to say that because I feel like some people have like negative thoughts from the cookout, but like for me, people don't understand like for me how important it is to see the cookout.
Yeah.
But yeah, my question. So it looks like Tiffany probably will be going out on Thursday, which I don't want that to happen, but that's what it's looking like. So when she goes in there, she will be the person to control the narrative of the cookout and like tell them why they came together and the goal of the cookout. So right now it's looking like Xavier is like the best, I don't know, the best player in the house, best position and everything. Will she go in there and like really, I guess, dog on Xavier and explain why no, Xavier actually is not good. He's doing that. He's not really doing anything. He was protected because of me and the cookout. And like, well, I feel like Tiffany is an influential person. So I feel like that could, I guess, not destroy, but take votes away from Xavier. So do you think Tiffany will go in there and like, I guess, trash Xavier?
I think that she's going to work hard to prop Hannah up. And if that means tearing Xavier and Kylan down, then she's going to do that. If Hannah follows her that same night in the double eviction, then she's going to have to choose which of Xavier or Kylan she wants to prop up or tear down. And I think that's going to depend on how Kylan handles targeting her this week. If she is not pleased with it, and she goes out not wanting him to win, then that's going to be very bad for him.
You don't want her as an enemy. We've seen every time she has decided, okay, that person is my enemy. Like it has not gone well for that person. Like whoever Tiffany is against will lose the game.
Yeah.
And let me see what anything else to say. Okay, if Tiffany ends up being the first one out, and let's say Hannah stays longer, and Hannah ends up in the final two, like with Xavier's still winning there.
Hannah versus Xavier, I actually think Hannah has a very good chance. Especially with Alyssa going into the jury feeling like Hannah's playing the best game potentially. I think that she actually could win. However, I don't really see a scenario where they're in the final two together. I don't think either of them plan to take each other at this point.
Yeah, I think she would win that.
I was saying, I think she has a better fighting chance than most people do against Xavier. And I even remember a conversation that Sarah Beth and Kylan had like not too long ago before Sarah Beth was evicted, where she was talking about the week that Christian was HOH, and it was kind of debating between if Hannah was going to go on the block or not. And then she told Kylan, she was like, Xavier didn't do anything. Hannah got herself off the block. So I feel like Hannah has cheerleaders if she can just pinpoint things, and then people can just run with their minds and be like, damn, Hannah did do the damn thing in that house. And so I think she has a very great fighting chance against him.
And I also just want to say that why I think it was so stupid that Big Brother decided to make their Zingbot joke about Hannah who exactly there's a non-zero chance that that's your winner, and you just called her a nobody.
I mean, didn't they call Andy a ghost or something? That he was haunting the Big Brother.
Yeah.
And also, Christina, thank you so much for giving us your perspective as well. I mean, we talked about this earlier in this Q&A, but the fact that it is so meaningful for so many people is why it's so important. And I think being able to share that perspective means a lot. I think to us, and I'm sure to other people who are seeing what's happening.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Christina. And Catherine, if you're still watching, I feel like that if you were looking still through what to say to the person in your life who was saying that they didn't like this season, expressing like what Christina had to say, or playing that call from Christina, I think is the best possible thing that you could do.
Yeah.
All right, Christina, thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, don't be a stranger.
I won't.
Okay. All right. Great job. Jay, so great to hear from you.
Of course. Thanks for letting me join and hijack
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I want everyone to know that Rob did not know that Jacob Jones was coming. Jacob and I planned this takeover last week, and we kept it from Rob, and we ambushed him with the club. Jacob Jones.
You got me. All right. This might be my last podcast on this earth. And so let me, Jacob Jones, where can people keep up with you?
People can keep up with me at JacobJ_Jones, and I will be on with Taran and Melissa on Tuesday to do the round table.
Yeah. All right. Be on the lookout for it. And then Taran, what's next for you?
Twitch.tv/Taran Armstrong. Do it.
Okay. Maximus Mom says, go buy your wife some diamonds for her birthday. Let's take it easy.
No, let's pump it up. Let's pump it up.
Let's slow down here. Diamonds.
Turn it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Bring
Let's
back
turn
the
it
summer
up.
vibes.
Right. Taran, incredible job here today. I think that I hope that we're always giving you the accolades that you deserve, but I think that especially today, incredible job all the way around.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes. And then Jacob Jones.
Y'all are so sweet to each other. Y'all are very sweet, very sweet.
But I can't ever express how proud I am of Taran as a podcaster. I mean, I just think that I've gotten to work with Taran since Big Brother Canada 3. So what is that? 6 years, and he's just the greatest, and that he's so on top of everything, and I get so few complaints ever about him, and I know how much the audience appreciates him. So outstanding job all the way around.
Taran.
Well, I don't want to make Rob any later, but I know Rob knows this, but Rob has meant so much to me in my life, and he has helped change my life in such a positive direction, and he's always been so supportive of me and given me the opportunities to do this, and I'm forever grateful.
I hear you, and
he's the best boss anyone could have.
Yeah, and Jacob Jones. What else?
No, let's end it with y'all too. Let's end it with y'all too. Yeah,
all right.
that's good.
Well, I gotta run. All right, take care, everybody. Have a good one.